Okay, so it's New Year's Day 2019, and I thought I would spend the afternoon kind of decluttering some of my makeup drawers. So, foundation is the one that I really wanted to start with, primarily because I know there are shades in here that are too dark, too light for me. There's foundations in here that are too old. So, I really wanted to go ahead and sort through this because I clearly do not need this many foundations. I'm not even quite sure how many are in here. But I definitely know there's several I can get rid of. So let's go ahead and just sort through what I have. Okay, so I started out with 53 foundations and I have sorted them out and I've come down to keeping 27 of them so far. Now I could probably whittle this down a little bit more. However, there's a few in here that I honestly couldn't remember how I felt about them, and since they aren't expired yet, I wanted to go ahead and add them to my drawer to test out so I can really make an informed decision before I get rid of it. So I will just go through quickly on the foundations that I am keeping. I'm keeping both of my Tarte Amazonian Clay foundations. I have them in light beige and light neutral. I do have the two different shades because I tend to mix them together when I'm in between shades. So love these. These are sticking around. I had 3 of these CoverGirl Healthy Elixir foundations, which I absolutely love. However, 2 of them were far too dark for me. Actually, okay, I take that back. 2 of them were the same shade in 705. 1 was too dark for me. I do not need 2 of these, and 1 is set to expire in just a couple months, and this one is good longer. So I'm just going to go ahead already and get rid of the one that is not, that is about to expire, and go ahead and keep this one that's good a little bit longer. Now this is one that isn't technically a foundation, it is a mix-in. It's the LA Girl Pro Cover HD Definition foundation, and the foundation lightener shade is completely white, so if I did have a shade that was a bit too dark, I could mix this in. I've only used this 1 or 2 times, but since it was inexpensive and it's not set to expire, I am going to go ahead and keep this, just because it is handy to have. I am also keeping my IT Cosmetics CC cream. I do really like this. My shade is in Fair. I don't have too much of this left, so I think I will go ahead and put this in my top drawer to start using it up. I am also keeping my Revlon Color Stay Whipped Cream Foundation. I love this stuff. My shade is in 150 Buff. I did have 2 of these, but one was in the shade 200, which is just too dark for me, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. I have 3 cushion foundations I decided to keep. That is the L'Oreal Lumi Cushion Foundation. I love this stuff. I'm also keeping the Maybelline Dream Cushion Foundation. I like this too. I do like the L'Oreal one a little bit better, but I do like this as well, and I don't have too much left, so I'm going to go ahead and try to use it up. And then I also have my Laneige foundation, which I really like as well. Honestly, I do believe I like the L'Oreal one better, so for the price, I will continue to purchase this and not use this. But I do have a refill for this because they do give you a refill cushion, which I do really appreciate considering it is fairly expensive. Now I have my stick foundation from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'm not even sure how much of this I have left. Let's see. Quite a bit. But I could definitely get through this because I feel like stick foundations you can go through pretty quickly. I probably won't purchase it again anytime soon, but I did really like it. Now my Sonia Kashuk foundation. I am sad about this one since they do not make this anymore. It is the Satin Matte Foundation. I do really love this, but it is discontinued, so I'm going to keep this until I completely use it up since it is still good. Alright, one of my favorites, I talk about this a lot, the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. I had 2 of these, one in the neutral undertone and one in warm, and I have found that I just tend to work better with this warm shade. The neutral is just a little bit too dark for me, and mine is in Porcelain W12. Now this Revlon Full Cover Foundation is one that I am not really sure about. I honestly can't remember kind of my thoughts on this. I haven't used it a lot, I know that, but I didn't want to pass it on because I did not have good thoughts on this. So I want to go ahead and add it to my top drawer and try using it again just to see how I feel, and then I'll decide whether I'm going to keep it or pass it on. Okay, love this stuff, the Misha Perfect Cover BB Cream. This was the recommendation from Jessica Braun. I do really like this. I haven't used it in a while, but I know I do still have quite a bit in here, so I'm going to add this probably to my top drawer to start using this up as well. Now this is one that I honestly can't remember either if I like it or not. It's the BH Cosmetics Liquid Foundation in Naturally Flawless. Like I said, I honestly don't remember my thoughts on this, so I want to add this to my list to try out so I can kind of gather my thoughts and see what I think. Here's another one where I do not know my full thoughts on yet. It's the Joa Truly Yours Natural Finish Foundation Drops. This is a super liquidy foundation. If you can see that, it's very liquidy, so it does give you that very natural finish, but I've only used it once or twice, and so I do want to continue to test it out and see how I feel, because this is a fairly inexpensive foundation. All right, this is one that is fairly new to me, only about a month or so. I really like it so far. It's the Essence Fresh and Fit makeup. It is very full coverage, so it is more of a dewy foundation, and so far I'm really enjoying it. Okay, the Revlon Photo Ready Candid Foundation I have used quite a bit. You don't get a lot in here, so I'm not that far away from using this up because I did like it. It's not my favorite, so I probably won't repurchase right now, but I will finish this up. Okay, this is my foundation from The Balm. The thing that surprised me the most about this was its size. It is very, very small. I mean, look at that in comparison to the Revlon. Very, very small. But I do remember liking this. It is that whipped texture. I haven't used it a ton, but I do want to keep using it. I think it might be a little bit dark for me right now. I did use it over the summer, so I want to test it out a little bit more and see how I feel about that and whether I'm going to keep it or pass it on. Okay, I'm also keeping my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I do like it. I will use this up because it's very expensive, but I will not repurchase. This is another favorite that I'm really sad about because it's my last bottle. I did technically have 2 of this foundation from Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour wear. However, the other one is in a darker shade and it is set to expire soon. So I know this is the one that does match me the best, and I should just keep this one and not wear one that doesn't match because that never looks good. But this foundation is discontinued, so I am sad about that. Once this is gone, it's gone. I do have another Rimmel foundation that I have really enjoyed. It's the Lasting Finish 25-hour Breathable. I think this was the replacement for this, especially with the 25-hour wear. That's what makes me think that. I do really like this, not as much as this, but I do like this enough to keep it. And it does have the wand type thing, which I do like. Okay, I'm also keeping my Estee Lauder Double Wear. I'm not sure why I've kept this in the box. I've used it several times. I also wore this on my wedding day with the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I am keeping my Bare Minerals Original Foundation. This is in the shade Fair Light. I don't use this a lot, but it hasn't gone bad yet, and it is just nice to have on hand if you're really wanting a natural makeup day with a powdered foundation. I'm also keeping my CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous in 115. This was one where I had 3 different shades in this foundation, and honestly, this is the one that matches me the best. I think sometimes I'm in the store and I want to think that I have a darker complexion than I do, and I'm not really as pale as I am, but let's face it, your girl is pale, and I need 115. This is one of my favorites that I am keeping and will repurchase, the Physicians Formula The Healthy Foundation. I love this. It has a sunscreen in it. It also has the wand applicator, if you weren't aware. I do really like this. I find myself reaching for this quite often and will repurchase. Lastly, I am keeping one of my e.l.f. foundations in Light Ivory. I do really enjoy this as well, especially for the price point. Not my favorite, probably won't repurchase anytime soon just because I still have all of these foundations to get through, but I do like this and will keep it in my collection for now. So I did clear out about half of my foundations. These are the ones I'm decluttering. There are 26 here, so I think I did a pretty good job with that, and I will just touch briefly on the ones I'm getting rid of and why. Alright, as I mentioned before, these 2 I am getting rid of. I love the foundation, but I do not need these shades because they do not match me, so I am passing them on. This might surprise some people. It's the Wet n Wild Foundation, Photo Focus Foundation. Everyone loves this. Honestly, it's not my favorite, and I know this shade doesn't really match me that great, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it on because I just know I don't reach for it. I just don't love it like I thought I would. I am passing on my Milani Conceal and Perfect. This is also a great foundation. Mine is in the shade Porcelain. There's nothing wrong with this. It matches me. I just don't love how it looks on my skin. It is a very, very full coverage thick foundation, and it's just not my favorite. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this on because I know I'm not going to use it. Passing on my Revlon Color Stay Makeup in 200 Nude. This is also a great foundation. It's been around for a long time. Love that they added the pump, but I don't reach for this, and this is not my best shade match, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it on. Here are those 2 CoverGirl Healthy Elixir foundations. I am keeping one since I had 3. Love this. 705 matches me the best. 710, way too dark. I am keeping another one at 705, but I just don't need 2 of these because I'm not going to get through all of those foundations that I'm keeping in enough time before this expires, so I'm passing these on. This one, oh my gosh, hated this foundation. I don't think I've ever hated a foundation as much as this. Nothing good to say about this. It's going. I'm passing on my Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse in light. First of all, this is too dark for me. Second of all, I don't like it. You can see I only used it like once. It pills up on your face. I know some people like it. For me, it's a no. I'm passing on my Tarte, what is this? The Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation, the powder version. Love the cream formula, but I don't love the powder and I don't reach for it. And I know this is several years old now, and if I haven't used it already, I'm not going to, so it's going. I'm also passing on my Bare Minerals pressed powder. I've loved this for years. I've had multiple ones of these. I've used quite a bit, as you can see, but honestly, I can't even remember when I last bought it. It kind of looks like it's pulling away from the pan, like it's drying out a little bit, and I just don't want to use something that old. If I can't remember when I bought it, I probably shouldn't be using it. All right, here's my other color, Revlon Color Stay Whipped Foundation. This is in the shade 200. Again, just too dark for me. I'm keeping the shade that matches and passing this one on. Another one from Wet n Wild that will shock some people. It's the Mega Cushion Foundation. A lot of people love this. Tati talks highly of it, but I just don't like it as well as my other cushion foundations. It is affordable, but I just don't think I get the same coverage as I do from some of the others, so I'm going to go ahead and pass this on. All right, passing on my L'Oreal True Match. I just don't reach for this. It's not necessarily bad, but it's not the best foundation out there, and I just, like I said, don't reach for it. All right, as you can see here, I thought it was very tan when I purchased this, and I want to say it was one of the lightest ones that they had. This is in 1.1. It's the Smashbox Studio Skin 15-hour wear hydrating foundation. I think I bought this because Casey Holmes liked it, and honestly, I think this is probably 3 years old, which is far too long for a foundation that I haven't even been reaching for. So why have I been packing it up and moving it along with me when I don't use it? It's going. Love, love, love this foundation, but this is a shade that just does not match me. So this one's going, and I'm keeping the one in warm that does match me. Passing on my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. I just don't like matte foundations. Here is my Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour wear foundation. This is just in a shade that is a bit too dark for me, so it's going. Passing on my BB cream from Garnier. I do like this, but I don't wear it. Passing on the Almay Smart Shade. I went through a love affair with this maybe a couple years ago, where I bought it several times. Really thought it was great. Loved the fact you could apply it with your fingers and it just blends right in. I do think it's very cool technology, but there are better foundations out there. So I'm not saying this is bad. I'm not saying it's necessarily good. It's just sort of there, and I don't need it. Passing on my LA Girl Pro BB Cream. It never excites me to reach for it, so I'm getting rid of it. Passing on my Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth, normal to dry. I honestly just think this shade does not match me. It looks way too dark even in the bottle, so I don't even want to attempt putting it on my skin. And this is in 110 Porcelain. I just don't think that looks porcelain. It looks very tan to me. Also passing my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow. This I bought in shade 203 Nude Beige. That is far too dark for me. I have no idea what I was thinking, so I'm going to pass this on. Getting rid of the Rimmel Stay Matte. I do remember liking this many moons ago, but I haven't worn it in forever, and I don't like a matte foundation anymore, so this is going. Also passing my CoverGirl Outlast All Day 3-in-1 foundation. And it expires, it already expired November 18th, so that was kind of my sign of it's time for it to go because it's expired and I never reach for it anyways. All right, also passing on my Rimmel London Match Perfection foundation. I don't remember really anything good or bad either way on this. It's not expired or anything. I just don't use it. So there we have it. I was able to declutter about half of my foundation collection, which I think is fantastic. I already feel so much lighter. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and if you'd like to see more declutters, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you already haven't and you're interested in seeing more videos, and I will see you all in my next one.